Through the Green Door, Nature Adventures with Lou and Jaynne on TVU. How you guys doing today?
It's fine.
Super.
Hello.
Hot day here.
Good to see you. Looks like you're back in your residential property, and thank you for last visit. That was amazing to see that property. So thank you.
Oh, pleasure.
Yeah, we'll take you there again.
That's good. That's good. And Nicole, your assistant, she enjoyed herself.
She did.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Good. Good. I look forward to getting more from her.
Yeah,
Field reports or something. That would be great.
That day, so she was pretty excited.
Good. And what do you got on the go today?
Well, today we're going to actually be going to a dedication of a park bench, a bench that was donated by Wendy Davis, and it's in the Belgravia Art Park. So we'll send you some photographs of that, and prior to that, a visit to her front yard where she has some beautiful plants and feeders set up to feed the wild birds and the squirrel in her front yard. But she also has canaries that she brings out in the sunshine. So you'll get a visit with Wendy.
Very interesting lady. Her background is actually originally from India, a British lady from a colonial background. But she's into her 90s and she is still very active, has a very active mind, and just a great, wonderful lady. Just a nice person to be around.
Yeah, and you'll learn a lot from her.
Fantastic. That's good. Okay, so you're gonna see
some film footage from those visits.
Okay, excellent. And so we'll cut that in now. I won't include this part. And then so where are we going now? So we've watched the videos and now we're back.
Yes. Okay.
And continue.
So a few weeks ago we mentioned that a friend had seen an injured raven. So we followed up with the connected Janet to the Wild North, who do the wildlife rescue. But when they went back to find the raven, it was gone. So unfortunately, we don't know whether it survived or not, or maybe the worms were enough for it to get enough nourishment and off it went. But that gave us an opening to perhaps take you on a journey to visit Wild North and their rehabilitation facility. So that'll be something we'll do in the future. And then the other thing we were following up with is the BioBlitz, which has taken place, but they're still organizing all their data. But we're going to be doing some trips into the field with two of the key people that were recording data. There was over 100 participants, and this is the first time it's ever been done in Edmonton, so that'll be kind of cool. It was started originally as a competition between apparently Los Angeles and San Francisco, and the two cities were competing to see who could have the most nature observers and the most species seen and that kind of thing. So eventually, years later, it has come up to our area. So we'll update you on that. But I'd like Lou to introduce the two key people that we'll be following out in the field.
Well, I'm always a great believer of the power of the individual. And it's a real pleasure, actually, to feature two individuals that have been involved in conservation in and around the city for many, many years. Many decades, in fact. That's Patsy Cotterill and Hubert Taube. They're very good friends, and they work very well together on BioBlitz's conservation programs. Plant identification is really their strength, particularly Patsy Cotterill. She's a whiz on plant identification. It's a green world out there, and not too many people can identify the differences between sedges and grasses, let alone the many different kinds of sedges. And it takes years and years of experience, and there's really no one better than that than Patsy Cotterill. She's amazing.
So we'll meet Patsy in the field. And Hubert, who happens to be a neighbor, he often heads up our area in the winter for the Christmas bird count. So he has some great strengths in birds.
And I've known Hubert for many years as well. It goes back to the Canadian Wildlife Service when we were associated through that federal organization. And Hubert was very interested in those days, and that goes 4 decades ago. He's very interested in urban conservation then. and he had a very special contract, a unique contract to work on urban conservation. So both of them have really been around for a long time and have been effective all along. They just didn't let up on their interest and their enthusiasm, their abilities too. They're pretty amazing people.
They know lots of special areas in the North Saskatchewan River Valley. So hopefully we'll get to see some of those through their eyes and with them.
And not only that, Patsy's also very much of an organizational person. She has been very supportive, for example, of the Wagner Natural Area. She's been involved in provincial botanical organizations. She's led field trips throughout Alberta to special areas to identify plants and so on. So her focus extends beyond Edmonton as well. And again, in her capacity as a person who knows her plants very well, she's made a huge contribution in that regard.
That's so good. That's so good. So then I'll cut again this here. So then you're going to do, you're going to send me field footage of
Yes.
both these individuals.
Yes.
This North Saskatchewan areas, that's so good. That's so good.
Yeah,
And then, yeah.
Huge. And especially because of COVID, everyone's down there. So
I'm just going to pick up the chairs and clean the deck a little bit. They're going to come around for an inspection here.
Okay.
Condo board is.
the condo. Okay, thanks. So yeah, sorry, it's so disjointed.
No. This is great. It's not disjointed at all. Because
If you, yeah, I'm just going to move into the shade before my computer conks out like it did last time here.
Okay. So we'll get those two. We'll get those two infield segments from you, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We to a whole bunch of other things, and then
Your mic is covered. I can't hear you.
the other one is the Dawson one that I will. I'll try to join into a Wi-Fi down in Dawson, and then we'll walk over to the park, and then I'll have to send you some footage.
Yeah, even if you film, so instead of holding where's my phone?
Yes, I know.
Instead of holding it like this,
yes, I started doing
the bottom side has to go like that. But you have to be careful if you do it this way.
Oh,
then I get them upside down. I can flip them. It's okay, but I prefer them not, right?
Okay.
And then
so
that gives me full picture, right?
All right. So I'm not sure which way I filmed them.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll use what we got. I'm just saying in the future.
I started doing them horizontal because somebody told me about that.
I know it's okay though. This is such unique programming, and
we're learning. Yeah, we're learning.
It's so important. And since we started TVU started to carry it, you know, other cause people, not environmental and like life cause, but other causes that I'd reached out to, have now their emails are starting to come back to me. So so thank you.
I'm glad it's helping. Yeah. And
yeah, you know, so it's you and Lou have a lot of influence in the community.
We belong to a lot of organizations and have and still do. I'm going to send you a little bit of film footage that I took in Mika's, putting together Wendy's order of suet, and then I delivered it to her this morning. So that's why I got all the
and
then she was organizing a garden party for this bench thing. So we talked about a bunch of stuff. I don't know how much you can use, but you might have to splice bits and pieces because she's a real gem. And then she was holding a little canary, and the canaries were singing and the finches were singing. So we have the pet bird side and the wild bird kind of together in the yard. So it's very different, right?
That is so good. And you know what? Any of your organizations that you belong to that have content on YouTube that it's okay for you to include and you want to include in your show, you know, we can, you know, they might have 1 or 2 minute kind of promo videos of what they do, right? Like the Bio Blitz or any one of these other things. I'm happy to include them. So
well, there is the person that head up the Bio Blitz is at the university, and Lou knows, like, we both know him, so we're going to try to get something from him, but he's up right now trying to go through all this data stuff, and it was hard to enter. A lot of people were like I tried to go into the site and it's already been closed down. So there's a bunch of paperwork or like data crunching that has to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Okay.
the people, the Dawson people with the Waste Free Edmonton, they're the person that that manned the table at our cleanup is gonna be there and can give a little presentation. So I'll line those people up, but that'll probably be the first week in July.
Fantastic.
But
And
something for you every week.
Yeah, and I think it's very important and very influential. I'm very, 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 very grateful. And I think that's about it. If you guys send me that stuff.
We'll send you. My phone actually went dead taking videos of Wendy this morning. So, and my phone said it couldn't work until I cooled it down because I think it was in the sun driving back home. So I'm learning lots. I'm learning lots. I'll try to get one of those wind balls or
lapel mics, right?
Lapel mic, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that headset thing then, or
no? It just clips onto your lapel. You know what I mean?
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and then you can get a splitter. You can get a splitter. So instead of plugging it into your phone, you just plug it into your phone.
Okay.
Just a second. So you'll just plug them. You just plug it. It'll just plug into your phone, just like like a piece, right? Mm-hmm. But then what you can get is a splitter. I don't have one. And what it does is it takes two plug-ins, and then you plug the splitter into the phone, and then you can have two people with mics. Right?
Oh, that's perfect. So if I go to some place like Best Buy or Staples,
or Visions, they'll have them, right? Excellent. And then they're 25, like around 25. If they're like 85, go to the, like if you're at Best Buy and they want 85 or 90, go to Visions, right? You know what I mean? Like because they're just you know what I mean? Like there should only be around, I don't know that I haven't bought them in like 6 months, but I don't see a big price spike, right? So
we'll try to that, and then we'll have you over sometime and you can see,
or wherever, you know what I mean? If you want to go down to the ravine or whatever, right? And we can or if you guys get really super comfortable capturing your own video, right? Let's see, you can just capture your own video. We don't need to I like the little bit of zooms. The little bit of zoom is neat, you know what I mean? To sort of context the show, right? Yeah.
No, that's perfect.
And away we go. So, but I'm open to it all. I'm so grateful, and thank you for your time. And then get me the rest of the content, and I'll produce the show. And and goodbye for now, Jaynne, and say goodbye to Lou for me.
Okay, yeah, there he is. Bye.
Oh, he's gonna say, where is he? He's over there. Okay, goodbye, sir. Awesome, thank you. Okay,
all right.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
There we go.
Here we are at Mika's by the suet fridge and freezer, and we're going to do a delivery to Wendy, who has this feeder in her front yard, and her woodpeckers and small birds love these suet balls. So we're going to deliver some of that, and then she also takes these size suet balls for this feeder right here. So you're going to see them in action in her infamous heritage birch tree coming up soon.
Asma painted this bench for me 3 years ago. She's now in Richmond, BC, but I've donated the bench to the Community League, and they gave it to the Arts Park, which is next door. And tonight, June the 23rd, they're putting a plaque on and making it special. So, and alas, it has to be repainted because it didn't have time to be varnished. So that's the story. 40 Below, it was done some time ago, and Jan McGregor wrote a story about ice skating, and somebody in Britain with the CNIB wanted it for the blind because it was so beautifully written. Anyhow, I gave my book to a friend to encourage them to write, and they said, Wendy, we really don't want to read about the winter when it's summer in Edmonton. So it's 40 below and people's experiences of winter in Edmonton. Well, I was thrilled because there was snow. I could ski from my house to my work at the hospital. And when I got there, one of the nurses said to me, "Wendy, you're the only one that's arrived on time. Ring up the CBC, they want stories." So I rang up the CBC, and they were delighted that I went on my skis, and now I've got a CBC mug. Well, that's some time ago. So now I'm 91 and things are different.
2 downy woodpeckers in Wendy's heritage tree. Here we are at Wendy Davis's front yard, and I'm just going to walk up the front sidewalk. And we're bringing, of course, the suet order.
Yes, I did. Yeah. As a kid, I loved writing essays in school. If it was an essay, great. Yeah. So that's why I just continued on
And Wendy and Maureen are having a coffee in the front yard.
After a while, you know,
It's like an English meadow. You know, we had a flip. My father said the weeds kept the apples. It kept them getting golden. And I think of all the weeds I have. But do you weed, or do you know somebody who weeds? Because I cut you off. I had 3 people. You know somebody weeds.
yeah, I did. Our landlord lives in Millet, and she lives on an acreage there, and she had a patch of ground that was once a garden, like a vegetable garden, and then she had a little seating area with flowers and that, and then she's just the only one there, so she doesn't have
A seed into a big tree.
What did you used to do as
I was an occupational therapist.
Okay.
You know
In
what?
England?
No. Yes, I trained in London, and then I worked in Edinburgh, and then I met my 2 Canadian physio friends, physios, not OTs, and they said, "Wendy, come on out to Canada and have a change." So at 44, I was accepted as a teaching assistant, so I had a job to come to. Very hard to immigrate to Canada, you know. But if you have a job, then it's different. And only if there isn't a Canadian who can fill it.
Yeah.
The beautiful song of the roller canaries in Wendy's front garden. Wendy, why do you bring your birds outside in the summer?
Okay, they love the sunshine and they get lots of fresh air. And initially I had aviaries outside, but I didn't have a heated garage. So the aviaries had an entrance into the garage, and if it rained and the wind blew, they could go into the garage, but it wasn't heated. So a lot of my friends have heated garages, and the birds love the snow and they have a sauna in the snow. But my birds, I had to carry them in after they've been in the aviary. And now I have less birds and no aviary, so I love to bring them the fresh air. And then when we had birds in India, we used to bring them out, take the trays out, put them on the grass and spray them with water, because in the wild they go in the trees, and when it rains the water drips off the leaves onto them and they have a bath. So that's why I like to bring the birds out.
Oh, sorry, can you start again?
I have a beautiful weeping birch tree, and it's more than 55 years old, and it's like Arc du Ciel. I have nuthatches that go up and down. They have a magical feet that like Velcro, and the squirrel does acrobats. And I have magpies, blue jays, and now crows. I have even downy woodpeckers and a pileated woodpecker. And I put suet out for the pileated woodpecker that comes about once or twice a week, and he loves the suet. I've also seen him in the river valley, and I know that you're not supposed to feed birds in the summer because they should get enough insects, but I guess I'm selfish and I love to see them in my garden, in my tree, and that's why I put suet out. It's gone, right? I mean, the varnish never happened. And this is Sarah in my writing group, who very, very kindly brought Cindy. And Cindy, here's pictures.
Oh, thank you.
And
Just took this the other day.
can I give you one of her cards?
So every second Tuesday through the summer, May through August, we have a weeding team that comes out, and we take care of the weeding beds. Sorry, I don't want to steal your thunder here. But so we come out, and there's a team that's here, and anybody's welcome to join if you like to come out and get your hands dirty or just learn a few.
Lots of weeds there.
What's that?
There's lots of weeds there.
There's a few weeds, but there's some nice flowers too.
Yes, I know.
And Kathy's going to talk a little bit about what's in the beds. Yeah. But Wendy was nice enough. She's had this bench for some time, and it was painted by Asma, her friend Asma.
Oh.
And she wanted to donate it to the Belgravia Community League, and we thought this would be a really nice place to put it. In the Arts Park, there's a lot of art around here, and that fits the whole thing. And we've got a dedication plaque on the back of it there, just a simple thing, but it'll last for a long, long time, as the bench will, as Wendy will. Yeah, just thanks for coming out. If you would like to come out and join us, it's every second Tuesday through the summer. And this is Kathy.
Daughter, we need somebody from Guatemala here. Daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, daughter. Husband knows you.
So I would like to start by saying a big thank you to Wendy for contributing this lovely piece of art to our arts park. And it really does fit our naturalistic theme here as well. So the native plant bed is not quite 100%, but about 95% native Alberta wildflowers. And all of them had been seed sourced or saved from within 100 kilometers of Edmonton. So this is as authentic as any of the wildflowers that you could get that would represent Edmonton. And if you could think of this place probably 100 years ago, maybe a little bit more, that's what would be, that would be the vista, is fields of just so many different varieties here. So do work at keeping it tidy-ish, because it is a little bit of wild in the city. It's not meant to be manicured, it's not meant to be a perennial bed, it is a touch of wild. The other thing that we have, a little bit of sculpture, but also functional, are the bee hotels. So those bee hotels have attracted the native bees We had them in last summer and they were almost no vacancy by the end. So now they've flown and they will be coming back. On the bench itself. And it says, upon Wendy's request, some 3 years ago, I painted a wooden bench that Wendy had acquired some time back. We both thought it would be a good idea. Although I had been through art school a few decades ago in India, I hadn't done any art for many, many years. It was only after I retired that I picked up the brush again. Art was always my passion, but due to my circumstances, I had to wait a long time before starting out in the art world again. In India, one of the styles that we learnt was Indian folk art. Folk art is usually drawings of nature, people, or animals, but not exactly as one sees them. Rather, a stylized and decorative version of the natural form. The colors are painted flat on the surface. One could do compositions in this style or just choose to do motifs. For Wendy, I combined different motifs to decorate her bench. Indian folk art is always bright and colorful, playful, highly decorative, and joyful. So, unfortunately right now the bench needs touching up, and I'm confident this can be done by my friend Cindy, a multi-talented artist herself. You all would find this kind of art unusual, but I hope it is enjoyable as well. I thank you for giving Wendy's bench with my painting a space to showcase it in public. Asma. On the bench itself. And it says, upon Wendy's request, some 3 years ago, I painted a wooden bench that Wendy had acquired some time back. We both thought it would be a good idea. Although I had been through art school a few decades ago in India, I hadn't done any art for many, many years. It was only after I retired that I picked up the brush again. Art was always my passion, but due to my circumstances, I had to wait a long time before starting out in the art world again. In India, one of the styles that we learnt was Indian folk art. Folk art is usually drawings of nature, people, or animals, but not exactly as one sees them. Rather, a stylized and decorative version of the natural form. The colors are painted flat on the surface. One could do compositions in this style or just choose to do motifs. For Wendy, I combined different motifs to decorate her bench. Indian folk art is always bright and colorful, playful, highly decorative, and joyful. So, unfortunately right now the bench needs touching up, and I'm confident this can be done by my friend Cindy, a multi-talented artist herself. You all would find this kind of art unusual, but I hope it is enjoyable as well. I thank you for giving Wendy's bench with my painting a space to showcase it in public. Asma.
Safos. It's Ian with Mika's Birdhouse here, and I'm just introducing Totally Organics pellets that are available here at Mika's Birdhouse in Sherwood Park. You want to get a hold of us, it's mikasbirdhouse.com, or you can reach me at the store, 780-416-4435.